Well, we appreciate you being here. Hoarse voice and all. You sound wonderful. You sound wonderful. So we want to thank the Melissa K Project. They are just going to take a short break, but while I had the opportunity to speak with you, thank you guys so very much for coming out and helping to support the National Park Service as we celebrate Army Heritage Day here on Governor's Island. We're commemorating all the years that the U.S. Army actually served here and built these amazing historic structures. The Army was officially here in 1800 and they left in 1966. This became the headquarters for the East Coast Command, and they took care of everything east to the Mississippi, as far south as Virginia, and up to Maine. So let's hear it for the U.S. Army. So what we've been trying to present today is kind of a timeline of Governor's Island history that kind of brings the U.S. Army to the present. So in the beginning, you get to see this actually throughout the day. We have a soldiers camp representing the Revolutionary War, which the Battle of Brooklyn was fought here in August of 1776, where Army lost New York to the British. That's kind of too bad. But George Washington's men were here on Governor's Island. They built the first earthworks over underneath Fort J, which you can see behind you. Although the earthworks are no longer there, the fort was built on top of it much later, because after the Revolutionary War, the new country decided, you know, we lost New York Harbor to the British because we had no forts. Let's build some. And not only here in New York City, but let's build some in all of our prolific ports on the eastern seaboard. So that was the birth of coastal defense, and you can still see these remnants up and down the East Coast of old fortifications, most of which are national parks today. Any of you ever heard of Fort Sumter? Yes, they celebrated its 150th because this is the anniversary of the Civil War 150th commemoration. Here on Governor's Island, we had 3 fortifications built. Fort J, Castle Williams, which will be open later this summer for the first time. We will take tours up to the roof, spectacular views, as well as exhibits in the courtyard. So please do come back for that. And we also had a 3rd fort, South Battery. Over time, this place became less of a coastal defense with fortification home and more of a home for military families. When it became a headquarters, you have officers have children and wives, and they built up the place to make it resemble any small town. So anything a small town would have, you would find right here on Governor's Island. Everything from a YMCA, a PX, a movie theater, a public school, PS 26, is here also. Fort J was converted into barracks for junior officers, and Castle Williams was used as barracks for recruiting, and then later on the Army used it during the Civil War as a Confederate POW, a prison, and then the Army used it as a barracks, a brig, just like Leavenworth, you know, the military system. And another famous fort turned prison, Alcatraz, which you may have heard of, also part of the National Park Service, same history as Castle Williams over there. So we've been trying to give you this, you know, capsule of time here with our Revolutionary War soldiers in the camp. We also have Civil War soldiers. At 3:30, they will show you their stuff. There will be a historic weapons demonstration just up the hill here in the roped-off area. They'll show you the differences between how they drill and how they shoot from the 1700s and then again in the mid-1800s. We also had the U.S. Army Band 319 here today to show you what the modern military is doing in terms of music and basically boosting the morale of today's troops. But we also wanted to show you the civilian side with Melissa K Project. They've been all over the world entertaining our troops all over. So thank you so much for supporting these events and for raising awareness about the National Park Service and the long Army history that we have here in Governor's Island. So how about another rousing round of applause for the Melissa K Project? And if you would like a schedule for the final activities for today, I have a few left, so come see me. In the meantime, if you'd like to play with some 18th century toys, see Pat, who's just up the hill over there. She'll teach you how to play with them. Pat and her husband Tom are here with the Callings Levies, and their daughter is currently serving in the Army overseas.